Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, thanks for stopping by. My name's Tolu, and on this channel I share content all around personal finance, budgeting, frugal living, and I show you how to live your best life on a budget. Earlier this week I did a post on my Instagram stories and I asked my followers, what's your biggest struggle when it comes to your finances? And one of the reoccurring answers that popped up was sticking to budget. A lot of people said that they struggled when it came to sticking to their budget. So in today's video, what I really want to do is share with you 12 different things that you can do to help you stick to your budget on a day-to-day, weekly and monthly basis. So if you're not yet following me on Instagram, then definitely head over to Instagram and give my page a follow, because I do posts like this on a regular basis, and that way you can really have your say and have an input in terms of driving content for this channel. So definitely go over and check my Instagram page out, because I post on there on a regular basis content all around budgeting, frugal living, how I'm paying off my mortgage early, and so much more other content. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right in and share those 12 things with you now. If you're struggling to stick to your budget, one thing that you can do that will really help you stay on top of your numbers is to apply the 72-hour rule. Applying the 72-hour rule to your finances is really going to save you a fortune. If you don't believe me, listen to this comment from one of my followers over on Instagram, where I did a post on my feed the other day and was sharing some of these things that I'm talking about right now in this video. This was the comment that somebody wrote underneath the video, just to show you how real and impactful applying the 72-hour rule can really be to saving you money and helping you stick to your budget. So the person wrote, "I'm using the 72-hour rule. Last Friday I made a list of all the things I nearly purchased that week. Glad I didn't go through with them. I could have purchased a new printer, a new camera, a new treadmill, a rug and new curtains, just to name a few, but not in the budget. I'm used to zero-based budgeting to save for number 1, next Christmas, number 2, holidays, number 3, office equipment, number 4, household upgrades, etc. Every penny has a home to go to. I wish I'd done this 20 years ago." Oh my gosh, like comments like that literally make my day, because that is what it's all about. It's all about getting in control of your finances and getting in front of your money. Just by her applying the 72-hour rule, look at the things that she stated that she would have bought. These are not trips to McDonald's or buying chewing gum from the shop. These are purchases that would have cost her hundreds of pounds, and just because she applied the 72-hour rule, she didn't just jump on her instinct and just make those purchases on impulse. She took her time, she considered the purchases, and she realized that it wasn't something she had budgeted for, and it wasn't something that she needed pressing at that time, and she was able to save so much money. So definitely, if you're struggling when it comes to sticking to your budget, try applying the 72-hour rule. Do it for a month and make notes of all of the transactions that you would have made had you not applied the 72-hour rule first, and let me know how much you've been able to save just by doing this for a month. Moving on to the second thing that you can do when it comes to sticking to your budget, this is budget to zero. So I'm always talking about the zero-based budget on my channel. If you don't know, I recently launched the Excel version of my zero-based budget template. You could definitely grab a copy via the link in the description box below. But I really believe in this template. It's something that's helped us on our financial journey. It's what I used when I was on my debt-free journey. It helped us pay off over £36,000 worth of debt, and it also helped us overpay our mortgage last year by over £4,000, despite me losing my job last year, and despite obviously it being a pandemic and everything else. So just having that zero-based budget and giving every single penny and pound an assignment to do, it really eliminates the room for you spending money on unnecessary things, and it prevents money from going missing, because you've given all of the money a job to do, and all the money has been assigned to a different category and a different purpose. So if you're new to budgeting and you need help getting started, let me know in the comment section below, or drop me a message over on Instagram, send me an email, however you need to do it. Get in contact so we can get you started on a budget, and you can really start making your money work harder for you, rather than having all your money come in and go out and you not actually know where all that money has gone. Another thing that's going to help you stick to your budget is learning to say no. Say no, it's not in my budget, and just keep it moving. Being able to say no to yourself and no to others is really going to save you so much money, and it's really going to help you start sticking to your budget. Start developing that habit of saying no to yourself, no to friends, no to family, and no to your children, and you're going to find you have so much more money left at the end of the month to put towards your own financial goals. Set yourself some short-term, medium and long-term financial goals. I think when you don't have a goal, when you don't have a plan, when you don't have anything in which you're working towards, it's easy for you to fall for that low-hanging fruit. It's easy for you to spend money on a whim and on things that are not going to benefit you in the long run, because you don't have a bigger plan in place and you don't have anything bigger in which you're working towards. But when you have a plan, when you have goals in which you're trying to pursue, it's much much harder for you to waste money because you know that this money has been designated for something else. By me spending this money here, it means that it's going to prevent me from getting closer to my goal in which I'm pursuing. So having goals in mind, having written goals that you're pursuing, things that you're working towards, is really going to help you to stick to budget and stick to plan. Over the last few weeks, I've done quite a number of videos when it comes to setting goals. So if you need any help getting started with setting goals, definitely check out some of these videos up here. They'll really help you. I'll also link them in the description box below actually, so that you can watch them after this video. But definitely set yourself some kind of goals. For the year 2021, what do you want to achieve financially? Where do you want to be this time next year? Set yourself some financial goals and break them down into monthly goals in which you're working towards. That way, when you have focus and you have a vision and something in which you're working towards, it's much harder for you to waste your money. Another thing that's going to help you stick to budget, I've mentioned in videos before, but I'm going to mention it again here because it's relevant and this may be the first time you've watched one of my videos. But getting yourself a list when you go shopping is really going to make a difference. Write a list of everything you need to buy before you hit the shops. That way, when you get to the stores, you're not looking left and right at all the special offers or all the new releases that are on display that are vying for your attention and making you want to go over there and add them to your trolley when they weren't things that you had in mind to buy. Have a written list in which you thought about before you get to the store and stick to that list and don't get distracted by anything else. Another thing that will help you stick to budget is getting yourself an accountability partner who holds you to account when it comes to the financial goals in which you've set yourself and the plans in which you set for your money. Because it's all good having a budget and having a plan, but life happens. There's things that tempt us into spending our money unnecessarily. But the great thing about having an accountability partner or having somebody holding you to account when it comes to the financial goals in which you've set yourself is really going to bring you back to yourself. So on that moment when you're thinking, oh, do you know what, I'm just going to blow this budget, or I can't be bothered, I'm going to spend this money on this new handbag, or whatever it may be, having that accountability partner is really going to be good to bring you back on course and be like, you said you were going to do this. Don't forget the goals in which you set yourself. Don't forget what you're working towards. Don't forget where you're trying to go, what you're trying to pursue, and it can really help rein you back in and help you stay aligned with your goal and help you get on track when it comes to sticking to your budget. Another great way for you to stick to your budget is trying a no spend challenge. So at the moment, I'm currently doing no spend January. No spend January is actually part of the 12 months money saving challenge in which I'm doing for 2021. If you've watched some of my recent videos, you may be familiar with the 12 month saving challenge, but if this is the first time watching, you may not know about it. The 12 months money saving challenge is basically where every single month from January to December, we're doing a different money saving challenge. So in the month of January, we were doing no spend January. February's coming soon, and for February, we're going to be doing Frugal February. And March, April, May, all the way to December, there's a different money saving challenge in which we're doing. Some of them are ones you may be familiar with. Some of them are brand new ones that I thought of myself. So if you want to get involved with these money saving challenges, then definitely grab a copy via the link below. That's definitely a great way for you to stick to budget. It's setting yourself a savings challenge, setting yourself some no spend days. So even if it's 3 days out of the month, 5 days out of the month, 10 days out of the month, that you're going to commit to saying, no, I'm not spending any money on those days. It's really going to help you rein in your spending and challenge that impulse nature that you may have. If you haven't tried a no spend challenge, I'll challenge you to try it for a day, 2 days, 3 days, and see how you get on. You're going to see that you've been able to save so much money doing so. One thing that will help you stick to budget is giving yourself some fun money. Give yourself permission to spend. If you don't give yourself permission to spend and you don't give yourself any kind of a fun allowance, you're going to find yourself spending money unnecessarily, and you're going to find that your money just keeps slipping out of your fingers. We're only human at the end of the day, and nobody wants to just keep working and not enjoying the fruits of their labor. But by giving yourself some fun money, giving yourself permission to spend, and giving yourself some kind of a spending allowance is really going to help you when it comes to sticking to budget. I think there's a psychology to it. The fact that you know that, okay, I have some money that I can spend, it's going to stop you from spending money elsewhere. But where there isn't no money set aside for you to have fun, all that's going to happen is you're going to find a way to have fun. You're going to find a way to spend money. And if it means blowing your budget, that's what's going to happen. So prevent this from happening by setting yourself a budget in advance for you to have some fun. Automation, automation, automation. Automation is the key. Where you can automate your expenses, automate them. So when it comes to paying all your bills, whether it's your rent, your mortgage, your council tax, whether it's paying for your car insurance, all of these bills, automate them. Even when it comes to saving, sending money to your savings account, your ISA account, make that an automated process so that you take yourself out of the equation, so that you're not tempted to spend money unnecessarily. You're not tempted to blow your budget the temptation is taken out of your hand, because the money is going to be taken out automatically from your account when you get paid on the day in which you set the direct debit or standing order. That way there's no room for human error. There's no room for you to, you know, feel like, oh, actually I could do something else with this money. The money's already been set aside, it's already been taken, and that way you're more than likely to stick to budget. Another thing that's going to help you stick to budget is to be realistic when it comes to your budget. Your family of 10 and you're setting yourself a food budget of £100, it's not realistic. That money is not going to last a month, and all that's going to happen is you're going to go over budget. You're going to be spending a lot more money than you have accounted for and budgeted for, and then you're going to be hard on yourself and you're going to feel like you failed and feel like you haven't done a good job when it comes to sticking to your budget. But the issue isn't the fact that you haven't stuck to budget. The issue is that you haven't set a budget that is realistic, a budget that you can actually stick to. So you set yourself up for failure before you've even started. So when it comes to budgeting and it comes to planning your expenses, make sure you're planning it in a realistic way. Make sure that the numbers in which you're putting down on that zero-based budget are numbers that you can actually commit to without it being too much of a stretch. Obviously there needs to be a bit of balance here, because yes, you do want to stretch it, especially if you're in a position where you're trying to pay down debt or anything like that. Then yeah, you do want to make it a little bit difficult because you really want to aggressively tackle that debt, but you don't want to make it too restrictive to the point that you're going to give up before you've even started. So be realistic when it comes to setting that budget. Another great way for you to stick to the budget is to keep checking in on that budget. So I don't think it's enough to set the budget today and not come back to it again onto the end of the month, because all that's going to happen is a month's going to pass and you're going to look back and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I spent so much money, I've blown my budget. Whereas if you check in on a more frequent basis, whether it's every day, every other day, twice a week, once a week, at least even if you're checking it once a week, you've given yourself 4 opportunities for you to rein yourself back in with your spending and curb the overspending. Whereas if you're only checking it once a month when you're setting the budget, then you're setting yourself up for failure, because you're not going to realize the error of your ways until it's too late. The last way that you can stick to budget is by finding a frugal way. That is something that I live by, and that's something that I love to advocate for and promote. I think where there's a will, there's a frugal way, and if you want to do something, you can find a way to make it happen. I've got a few videos on my channel where I share different frugal projects that we've done in our house, from the pallet sofa to the DIY gym that my husband made. We're always trying to find frugal ways to do things that we want to do. So no one's saying you can't have nice things and you can't have the things you want, but see if you can find a way to do it on a budget and find a cheaper alternative so that you are able to stick to budget and you're not constantly overspending. These are just 12 of many things that you can try in order to help you stick to budget. Let me know if there are any of these things that you've tried before. Let me know if there are any other things that you would recommend that people try. Leave it in the comment section below, because it's very helpful to me and it's also going to be helpful to you too. But with that being said, guys, if you made it this far in this video, that means you've enjoyed it. So do me a favor and give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet done so. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and I will see you on my next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.